work through and create a coping plan for surviving the holidays. So this can be helpful for you if this is just a rough time in your life or you're struggling with something in particular. And it can also help if you're dealing with an addiction that you're trying to manage over the holidays. So I have clients who are struggling with drugs or alcohol, or clients that are struggling with porn addictions, and we can use this to support all of those things because it's tailored to you. So I'm gonna work through this with you. So I'll kind of tell you the points of the coping plan, and then I'll give you examples of what my plan would be. And so you have an idea of what that actually looks like in real life, right? And then I'll just give some tips for surviving the holidays and that sort of thing. So, and I have notes here to remind myself of things if I forget them. So if I look away, that's why. But coping plans are something that I really love because it helps us prepare for something that we know is going to be really difficult. And the holidays can bring up a lot of that stuff for us. So it's really important that we prep and we prepare specifically for the things that are going to arise. So I have some clients who are like, I already have a general coping plan, or I already have a safety plan. Why do I have to create another one specifically for the holidays? I already have one. But this is a specific situation that we know will bring up new things. So on all my coping plans, I have people list the triggers that normally come up for them. And this one is no different, but I want you to specifically list the triggers that will come up for you likely over the holidays. So that's number one, right? So number one is to list all the triggers that you may face. Now, obviously there might be more than you list, but we can come up with a pretty good list usually. So for me personally, I know that triggers for me will be maybe negative comments from my family, maybe some family members who don't agree with the life that I live, or just always have negative things to say. You know, the people that really like to bring other people down or make comments that are really negative. So I know for me that can be triggering for me. So maybe, you know, writing down different comments that I expect or different things that may come up that may upset me. Those would be things that I would list. A lot of times my clients will list things like, you know, there's a lot of partying or alcohol around the holidays. If that's something that they're trying to avoid, that's hard sometimes. Sometimes memories, past memories come up that are difficult. I have one client who went through a really hard breakup over the holidays, and that will come up for him. I have other clients who have lost people, and so the loss of a person that they love no longer being there, that's a big trigger for them. So think through the different areas and things that could come up that make you possibly feel sad or want to use or just feel really bad. Another big one for people is loneliness. Not only is there a pressure, I feel like, to be in a relationship a lot of times around kind of the holidays, but also it's a time that if we are alone, or if we're struggling with our family, or we're struggling with friends over that season, it feels really lonely because you see so many people connecting, and it can really highlight the loneliness that you feel. So maybe identifying the way that loneliness could come up for you, and that kind of being a trigger possibly, or at least a vulnerability factor for you. So write down all of those specific to this time of the year, not only like, you know, Christmas Day or New Year's, but the whole holiday season, right? Then I want us to list all of the coping skills that we can use. And again, this is similar to a regular coping plan, but we have to adjust it now for the different places that we'll go, or the different things that we will be facing possibly, right? So if you will be spending more time away from your house, that means you have to have coping skills and distractions ready that are sort of mobile, that you can take with you. And that's a big one for me because I'm used to having my own space and a lot of space to myself. So when I go home for the holidays, I'm around people all the time. So I have to prep for that and prep to kind of come down from that and have my own time and my own space, right? So that would be some of my coping skills. My coping skills, definitely, it's always still planning gym time. I'm gonna try to book like a massage getaway over the holidays so I can at least step out like for an hour and relax away from the family. Music is a big one. Making music playlists that you like, that'll make you happy. I have happy music playlists. I have play one down playlists. I have uplifting playlists. That's for music. Those are also good playlists to make on YouTube. You can find talks that you like and put those on playlists and kind of have those ready. I usually have some Netflix shows ready when I just need to tune out for a second, or maybe I need to step away from the chaos and just kind of blindly step out for a minute and distract. That's great. Like, you need to have those prepared too. So distracting skills and coping skills. I'm taking paints home this year. I find painting to be really meditative, especially at night. So I'm gonna bring paints home so I can do that. Just write down all things that you can have, maybe like a little doodle book or a sketchbook. Journaling is good. Literally, like, coloring books are good sometimes. What else? I think those are kind of the main ones that I use. Meditation, as much as I can fit it in. Getting outside, even though it's freezing. Playing with pets. All of those things are really good coping skills. And make sure you have them ready and prepped, and you bring the things with you if you're leaving your house. And if you're not leaving your house, then having things that maybe will help you work through some of the emotions, or maybe you do need to plan something to get outside, or go do something and not just sit in your house and kind of hermit. Sometimes that can be even more of a struggle. The third thing that I want you to have on your coping plan is people that you can reach out to. So for me, this usually is a few friends that I have that really know me and support me, and so when I go into a rough situation, I'll sort of put them on alert, like, hey, I may need extra support, or I know I can reach out to them if I need to. You also can use a coach or a therapist for that, if they offer kind of that messaging option. A lot more people are doing that now, and that's something that I do for people too, so they can reach out to me when they're struggling. But just list all the people that you can reach out to, and maybe different levels of people. So maybe you have friends that don't know everything that's going on, but they can be a nice distraction if you need to reach out. Maybe you have the friends that you can call if things really are tough and you can really be yourself. Then maybe you have a therapist, which is another level to support you when you really need it. And then the next level would be like calling the suicide hotline or calling 911 if it gets to that point, right? Those are kind of your last option. Things are really that bad. I need to have that option on there. And I think those are good things to include on this, all levels. These are all the friends I could reach out to. This is the family I could reach out to. This is my therapist. This is my doctor. This is the suicide hotline. These are other hotlines that could be helpful possibly. And plan for best and worst case scenarios in all of this so you're prepared. Because the idea of this is we want it to kind of calm our anxiety and calm our nerves a bit, because we know we're prepared for anything that happens. And hopefully it will be okay and you'll get through it okay. But we need to plan for if things get really tough, because then you have the next thing to do if things get hard and you're not floundering and you're not alone and you're not just struggling by yourself. So make sure you write down everybody that you can think of and you could possibly turn to. Even the people that you don't want to turn to necessarily, but you could if you had to. Put those down on there. The last one is things to remind yourself that you can get through this, that this is temporary. Those are quotes, affirmations, pictures. I use Pinterest a lot, so I'll create Pinterest boards specifically for something that I'm going through, or for affirmations that are helpful, or pictures that make me happy. So you have that ready, right? It's on your phone, you can turn to it, you can click on it, and you can look at it and it can help build you up. They have tons of quotes on there too. Those are great. You can save them on your phone, you can screenshot them, you can put them in an album, you can physically have them with you, you can have quotes with you, you can jot things down on little sticky notes or in a journal. You can have pictures with you. There's so many options, but really surround yourself with those things. I like to change my screensaver sometimes if I really need it, because then it's always there. Every time you open your phone, that reminder that it's okay, you can get through this. And make that a part of your day. So go through a board every day, read some of those quotes every day, read those affirmations every day, and surround yourself with them to remind you that you can get through it. Because sometimes when things get really tough, it doesn't feel like we can get through it, and you really need to up the reminders that you can. Put them everywhere, right? Put them all over and set reminders in your phone. Hey, at 2:30 I need to look at a Pinterest board. At 5:30 I need to read some of those quotes. Before bed I need to look at my affirmations and read my affirmations. Really, really surround yourself with those things. So write that all out. And if you want my format for this, just send me your email or email me and I will send it to you. I have kind of the written out format so you can just fill it in if that's easier. Reach out to me and I will send you that for sure. So fill this out, take it with you, prepare, make sure you are ready, and try to think of all the different options and things that could happen. Some other things that I like to think about and prepare for are kind of in 3 areas: self-care, time management, and planning ahead. So those are 3 things that are really important. You have to make sure you're taking care of yourself. If you're not taking care of yourself, things are going to be really, really hard. So try to work in self-care as much as you can. And that doesn't have to be big things. I say this all the time. It doesn't have to be big things. You don't have to do really elaborate stuff. Just little things to ground you and help you feel a little bit better. And try to enjoy those things. So if the thing is like, I'm gonna have tea every night, or I'm gonna enjoy hot cocoa, enjoy that. Take time to enjoy it. Take time to smell it and feel it and like really enjoy it, because that's part of this. We don't just want to blindly go through things. We want to use it to ground us, to appeal to our senses, and to really help us. So choose small things and try to consciously enjoy them and be present, because that is really helpful. So take care of yourself, manage your time. A lot of people get really stressed over the holidays. There's a lot going on. They get anxious, they get worked up, they get in their head. So try to manage your time and fit in things that are not only helpful to you, but manage things that you don't need to do. So if you don't have to be spending all your time doing things that cause you stress, then don't do it. I mentioned before, if staying at your family's house for too long is causing you issues, don't stay there as long. If going to tons of family obligations or work obligations is stressful, cut some of those out. If you really need more time to yourself, or more time with friends, or more time working on a project or something, build that in. Make sure you're evaluating your time so you're not spending it in areas that really just aren't helpful for you. And the last one, is plan ahead, which is this coping plan. Make sure you prep and you plan and you prepare and you're ready for when things get hard, and you accept that it's possible that things will get hard, especially if you're working through grief or trauma or an addiction or something. It's gonna be tough. So we need to accept that that is the case, and then prep for it and plan for it, because that gives you the most likelihood of success through this, right? So those are my tips, guys. Email me again if you want this. Print it out. You can print it out, or you can do it on your phone or whatever. I'm happy to send that to you. If you have any more questions, please let me know. Let's try to support each other and help each other, and just really put love out there for people who are struggling to get through this time of year. And we can help each other and bring each other up, because we don't have to get through it alone. You're not alone. I'm here for you. We're all here for you.